They seem to be the last ones to go. We're here to fuck shit up. As the guys are gonna. You know what I mean? Like, all that stuff. Yeah, we're gonna wake them up. You guys are not like this against life. And I had games where I just came back from nothing. It's like, alright, how to make her a 6'9", bam, gain 6 health, bam, gain 6 health. Oh, I don't have anything. I guess I got trade creatures in it.
All right, are we good? Yeah, good. Hey, everybody. It's me, John. Mark will be joining us here in just a little bit. He's waiting on some stuff to finish priming. I am on the Forever Commission of Imperial Knights. Hopefully wanting to chip away, or chipping away at some of the work left on them. But while you guys are here, feel free to say hi, drop in and chat away. Keep me company as I work on this. And I'd love to see what you guys are working on. I know you can't really post or like photos in the comments, but just let me know what you're doing. Like, you know, whether it's painting models, putting together stuff, or anything like that. So last time we were doing some edge highlights, and I'll probably continue doing that because I still have some of the carapace left to edge highlight. I just got started working on this emblem though, and I wanted to kind of get more of it done. And then I also have some work to do on like one of the hood pieces, carapaces, where I want to try to do some battle, like I have some battle damaged heads, and I wanted to kind of get that battle damaged effect down on it. So I will be working on that while Mark moves all my paints.
Yes, they're still within reach, right?
No. But yeah, so I'm doing some battle damage on this. I already put the silver in on this guy a little bit ago, and I kind of just like streaked some silver up. I haven't done a lot of battle damage like hand painted. I normally do like the chipping effect with the hairspray method, but I wanted to give this a try. So I got the streaks in, but now I'm coming in and doing like a little bit of black lining to make it look like there's that little bit of gradation, or not gradation, distinction between what is chipped and what isn't. And so this is using, you know, this is kind of putting in an optical illusion for folks.
What you playing?
So a lot of it is just kind of choosing where the light source is coming from, and then drawing lines where you think shadows would be made because of the light hitting this battle damage.
There you go. We'll make some shenanigans going on.
But yeah, this is looking pretty good so far, and like once I come back with like the little bit of edge highlighting, it should pop it even further. Mark is over here and he's starting, he finished up a griffin from the weekly painting challenge, right?
Yep. So you just need some basing now.
Yeah.
And just try to figure out, you know, steps I can take. I mean, you still got a little bit more work to do. Whoops, sorry, John. But, let's see, not too far. That's, yeah, I'm bad at this. Alright. Alright, gotta find my center. There we go.
Do a little flyby. Yeah.
But yeah, just, it's, I try to do it, keep it simple. What I need to do is...
If you grab me Rust Gray, it should be on the top row. GW, yep.
Yeah, Rust Gray.
Mackenzie.
So it, He's a light war beast, and I found that my biggest issue actually is spending too much time on a model. And a lot of times I get frustrated when I spend too much time on a model. So what I did with this guy is I just gave him the base coats, I gave him the washes.
Just pass me your brush, sorry.
How big would you like?
Big brush. I need to get some water in a big pot.
And so I have typically a lot of issues where I spend too much time on something, and it really sets me back as far as even completing the model, because if I spend too much time on something and it's not what I like, I get frustrated, I abandon it, and I set it off to the side, and just it really kills my motivation to finish the model when I feel like I messed it up so bad. So with this one, I just they said, all right, we're going to base coat it, we're going to wash it, and then we're going to highlight where we want it. And really just definitely came out how I like it. He's got eyes that aren't, piercing into one's soul.
Yeah.
Like, so he's got the pupil size I like, he's got the direction of his eyes, he's not lazy eyeing in two different directions like a chameleon or anything like that. And so I'm just really happy with how it came out. So I just gotta, paint the leather straps and things like that, and then he's pretty much done.
Yeah. Well, cool. It's
Bird up.
I was watching Dallas Kemp, who's one of the studio painters for Privateer Press. He was doing his weekly live stream, and he said something really that hit a chord with me. Someone asked him what his favorite color is, like what it is to paint, like what's his favorite paint color, and he responded, "My favorite paint color is done." And he proceeded to like fill in where he's just like, listen, like it doesn't have to be your best work, but if it's done, then that means you finish something, right? Like you have completed it and you don't have to worry about it. Like not every single mini you paint has to be your magnum opus, right? Like sometimes it's just more important about finishing a model than it is about the technical skill into finishing it. So
sometimes you hit your stride. Sometimes you like a model to be, your magnum opus.
Yeah, and that's fine.
But that's the thing. You have the motivation to finish it. But if you try to make every single one,
you're gonna burn out.
Yeah, you burn out. I've burnt myself out just repeatedly trying to do that, and it. I'm trying to train myself to stop. Basically.
Yeah. Even if it's your best, even if it's not your best model, even if it's tabletop quality, if you're paying attention and learning something from it, you're improving. So just because the model you're working on isn't the best in your line, it doesn't mean that you're not improving. It means you're learning stuff in different ways. You're finding shortcuts to create effects that make your model look better but cost you less time. And it's really important to realize that a finished piece will always look better than your best painted unfinished piece.
Yeah.
So just say that to yourself. Hey Henry, we're just on stream right now. Yeah.
August defines brushes. Gonna throw in some more.
You can put some dust in it?
Yeah, definitely gonna be here for some dust. Okay. Got my North African Germans.
Do you?
Yeah.
Which one? The Christoph?
Yeah, Christoph.
I brought my French one for 9.
Oh, so what you're saying is avoid melee, even though all my guys are short range.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I need to play games with lots of cover.
Oh boy.
Unless I just want to basically be like,
Well.
okay, my guys got shot from across the board. And since we're only playing basically 2 units.
Yeah. Well, the issue is you can have cover, but I have flamethrowers.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Christoph is an expert with flamethrowers, so he'll burn some zombies to a crisp.
Very cool.
Which is how the Russians actually handled the zombie invasion of Russia. They just started bringing lots of flamethrowers to deal with the second German offensive into Russia. All right, so I did too much. I used a rust pigment, and what I did is I threw it in a plastic bag with some basically brush. And what I'm doing is shaking it around. And
When you say brush, You mean
Like as in like flock.
yes? No.
Not my paintbrush. And so I'm trying to get the. I think I added a little bit too much powder to it, but it's fine. It just add more green and it'll distribute evenly. And you can save it for later because I definitely plan on using this more often. Throw it in the bag, shake it up, and that's basically what I'm talking about. Let's see, this stuff right here. I just shake it up, and what that does is, like, I like to have an autumn theme with my circle models, and so the changing of the leaves and the falling of the leaves, I typically try to show on the base of each model, and so I take this green brush that I normally wouldn't like too much, but I give it that that look like it's the changing of the seasons by throwing rust pigment in there. And the nice thing about pigment is it really distributes itself well, so you get to see the different colors throughout the brush. And so I'll take some of this out and kind of try to get a clump together. Let's see if I can show what it looks like, since you guys had to see through a plastic bag last time. So you see that right there. So you get a nice orange-green distribution throughout the brush. And I like to just get a clump stuck on there. I also have a nice, what is it, Cromtech?
Cromlech?
Cromlech, yeah. Cromtech. Stump, yeah. So I gonna be gluing that on there, so it's gonna have dead grass, a brush changing for the seasons, and a nice stump, just to show you that's still happening in a forest.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Hey, Will.
Sorry.
Will, can you help Thomas? Or not Thomas, Tyler out real quick?
Yes.
So, should I have the stump in front of him or behind him?
I would probably do behind him,
Alright.
since it's such a large piece. And you don't want to block off them pretty nails on those griffins.
That's true. He did get his nail did. Remember, if you live in the South, it's nails did, not done.
Yeah. It's important to know, like, when you're basing, like, making sure not to put down detail that's going to distract you from the model you just, like, spend a bunch of time painting.
So he's stepping in the stump.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't hide
I would,
his nails.
however, highlight that stump a fair bit,
Oh,
or
yeah.
darken it, because it's like almost the exact same skin tone as the griffin.
Yeah, this was the Mournfang primer. I'll show you once everything's in the position I want. And then we'll have... I like the grass flock you can get, because a lot of times it really just shows, like life springing from the old and the new. So I like to have it growing out of the stumps and things like that.
Yeah. Hey, Robert. How are things going in your neck of the woods?
I wish I'd sealed that before.
Sealed what?
The hole, the slit in the base.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's something I didn't consider, because this was just a on a whim project for me. I just grabbed it from my foam at home. It's like, all right, time to get a model done for the week, and I didn't have any of my tools with me, so I just started. It was primed from a long time ago, so I just started on it. The good news is we can fill a lot of that with fluff. Let's see if I can't take a look at this piece. Somewhere else. There we go. Yeah, that actually hides it pretty well.
Hooray. Yeah, that's one thing that drives me up the wall. Like, I really wish Predator Press Robert, looking at you, would come out with sealed base options instead of having the slotted ones. Just because it's always like one extra step. Or if Robert knows like why they do the slotted base, like I mean outside of being able to like just put your model in there. I'm curious if it was like an original production like design thing or
I mean, just history of models in general, they typically needed slotted bases just to stand upright.
yeah, I guess there are like a lot of thin, spindly models.
Just gonna paint the bottom of the base so that less black showing through. Hopefully I'll get this done before the end of the stream so you can kind of see where the model went.
Yeah.
Oh, also, having I get done, they're in the stream. They're not like an ongoing thing. It's not long. Actually, no, for 2 weeks I kind of died there, and after 2 weeks I did something. Which apparently is the way.
This is probably one of the most agonizing steps.
Yeah, I'm afraid of even touching the table if you're anything like that.
Oh, honey. Yeah, so I can't lift the dog.
Alright, so got that brownified.
Dungeon. Oh, so you can carry things. You just can't lift them. Oh, it should be tight. Oh, David. Yeah, David. What do you need? You need anything else?
Seal. Do you have an exacto knife or something?
No, it's over there on the other table. This is a paint stream, Mark, not a X-Acto knife stream.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you want to do battle damage, exacto knife is perfect, right?
Like depending on what you do, it's actually not terrible. It depends on how you paint, but you can totally battle damage stuff up if you need.
Yeah. That was how old Mark did it to an old dreadnought from a what was the Orc Space Marine starter box. That old thing, I gave it like 3 scratches on the front, like a Tyranid scratch set or something.
So with my, like I've done the hairspray method, where I'll have to do some point for the stream.
Good idea.
But I have to figure out a model to battle damage. Maybe the Lely stuff.
Ooh, yeah.
Since I'm getting the new Ashes to Ashland model from the mini crate,
Yeah, that's gonna be beautiful.
I'm probably gonna build a small Merc Lely's force. Nothing like expansive, but like, you know, the Thorn Gun Mages, Ashland, Vanguard or 2. Just to get in preps for Crucible Guard coming out later this year. So
I hope Crucible Guard wins Crucible. That would be fitting.
it would be nice, and they will be. Well, excuse me. I have actually zero idea what their production schedule is. But if it's anything like Grimkin, they should be fully out by Crucible,
Yeah.
or at least mostly out. Crucible being in October, and Crucible Guard should be coming out in. Starting in June at Lock and Load, I believe. So, yeah, it's fairly exciting. I'm actually kind of curious what their melee infantry options are going to be. Because, like, so far we've only seen dudes with guns.
That's true.
I mean, Prospero, the robot that we've seen.
Huge.
Yeah, but he has no guns, so that's one punchy option. And same with the lady that turns into the monster, the solo. She doesn't have any guns either, so that's 2. But normally there's like a formal melee unit. I'm curious if they're going to get any heavy infantry.
They'll probably. I hope they do something like that Star Wars shock baton.
Oh yeah, cool. I would like that.
That would be really cool.
It would be cool to see a like infantry unit, even if it's like a 5-man unit with disruption, like crit disruption or something.
Yeah. Ooh, God, infantry with disruption.
Yeah. I mean, it would be cool. It'd be different, right?
Yep.
So.
So, what do you think so far?
Oh, that's looking great.
Let's see. I'm trying to make the bush a little taller, so
Yeah.
it's not stable yet. So
Hey, Gus.
I'm not willing to tilt it over for the camera just yet.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Working on it?
Mm-hmm.
There.
That was our espresso guy coming in.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so
Coffee time is here again.
yeah. More so latte time.
Yep. All right. Sadly, I don't have my leaves here. So I'll be putting more, but regular flock will work, and I can put leaves over that later.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I'm done with the bushes. So let's see if I can't throw what's left back to the pile.
I know assembly line like technically makes stuff easier.
But your motivation just sinks with the
Yeah. Well, I'm also finding that like I'm learning from what worked and didn't work on the first carapace. And not that they'll be like really any different in appearance, but I'm learning those techniques that like improve it. Where it's like, oh man, I spent a lot of time on this thing, but the moment you're not holding up to your eye, you don't see it at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and not do that anymore.
How about you try anything else?
Yeah. So it's important. Always paying attention to what you're doing is such a huge part of this. If you're trying to be a commission painter, trying to make your hourly value is always going to be tough, right? Like, but you don't undervalue yourself, so you got to really like find those techniques that work, that improve the speed of your work, but don't diminish the quality.
Yep. Because you don't want to end up basically being paid less than minimum wage for some amazing work.
Kyle, I don't know, a lot of people do it. I started doing it actually, like, he's talking about licking the brushes. Probably 4 or 5 years ago. I kept going through brushes and they didn't hold their tips all that well. Now, a lot of it was also the quality of the brush I was using, but I did find after I started licking my brush, not only was I able to control the point, but also the point lasted much longer on brushes.
Spit, surprisingly, makes a very good brush thinner.
Yeah, I mean acrylic's water soluble, all that sort of stuff.
No, we're not asking you to start chugging your paint or anything.
I never really recommend it to other people. To me, it's just like one of those like shortcuts instead of like having to pull the brush over to the side and like try to refine the tip on it. Like I'll just lick the damn thing. It's all personal preference really, but I just find that it speeds up my brush work. Oh, thanks, Kenyon.
Nick. I also tend to use my back of my hand as a palette.
Yeah, someone asked me why I used my thumbnail, and I like it because your thumbnail's a nice,
smooth surface.
Correct.
Put blood in here real quick. My bad.
Hey, how you doing?
Feathers.
Oh, good. Oh, those are looking great. Just, what is it, like 15 rendered, 500 more to go?
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
wow.
I got that many more feathers to shade.
Good.
I was just making sure you like
Yeah.
the shade.
No, it's looking fine. We are getting some custom t-shirts done for 40K groups. Mostly the campaign being the big one that we're doing this for. So Chandler's been cranking out these. It's really cool commission. And we'll have them pretty soon. The moment he's done, I'm gonna throw them up on the Giga Swag site so people can get their shirts. Speaking of shirts, we're probably gonna get Emily, who did our 10-year anniversary shirt, to do the GigaCon shirt this year, because we just got approved for GigaCon 2018.
Very nice.
I was a little worried about that, considering our numbers were so for something that wasn't super planned or advertised ahead of time. Like our numbers for the last year's GigaCon were great, and so they were good enough to get us qualified or to remain a qualifier for this year. And now with our online event registering software, we can have people register from out of state super easy. Like, it's going to be so good. But yeah, I'm going to try to get Emily to do a design for us for the shirt. I mean, not that I don't want to. Love drawing War Machine stuff, but
Time is always
yeah.
Hey Rob, how are you?
But yeah, so any of you guys who are into the War Machine scene, we will have a War Machine Weekend qualifier here in the summer.
Come on down, you hear?
Yeah.
Here for Dream of the Week?
We have people from South Carolina already saying that they're going to be coming down. People from Florida. Matt Bunting said that he was coming up.
Wonderful.
Brandon Andrews
Yeah, gotta say hi to him again.
Yeah. Oh, Mark, look at that.
Oh wow, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
That's gonna break our our table or shelf.
Yeah.
Our workstation. That is a big old espresso machine.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited.
Me too. I have not had espresso since it broke.
You can have espresso on your diet, right? Like
Yeah,
milk's
yeah.
okay. Oh yeah, because you can eat cheese and all that.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if the sugars in milk were too much.
Well, I mean, it'll be like a bread.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like, but still, like half and half and all that has sugar to it, right?
Very little. Milk has more. Actually, did you know that the skim milk has more sugar than like whole and 2%?
Interesting. No, I didn't. Well, the more you know.
So basically, the fatter your milk, the less sugar it has.
I guess, I mean, it kind of makes sense if you think about it.
I don't think that would have been Jesse. Jesse's pretty.
That's cool. You get to have some large brevets with Splenda in them.
Hey, pretty much.
Those aren't bad, by the way. I don't know if you've had them before or not.
Yeah, no, I've like when I've made one for Jeremy Piper, there was a little bit left over, so I made myself like a mini one, and it was delicious.
Dakota? Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
I'm running the event, so cool stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, guys, if you're in the neighborhood, lattes will be back.
Rules that we changed.
Maybe not tonight, but tomorrow. I'm definitely going to have to train people on how to make lattes again.
That's the battle part 3.
Gonna use a latte time.
Yeah.
If you wanted to.
There's a lot to go into teaching someone how to make lattes.
Convergence only has 2.
No,
Retribution has
Follow John to the dark side.
I ain't doing it.
That's a perfectly legal battle. Okay. Actually, pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, I won my first game yesterday against Eric.
Yeah. That's probably one of the better battles.
Are you going to work on your trolls anytime soon?
Yeah, no, that's an army that I'd like to try to do primarily with the airbrush.
Well, yeah, but you still have your brawler.
Yeah,
He's good to go. You can start paying him.
that's true.
Super exciting that you're getting these griffins done though.
Yeah. One down, what, 6 to go?
Yeah. Did you have a chance to look at the Legion CID?
No, not at all. Anything interesting?
They did a lot of the Civic or the Carnivian chassis went down a point across the entire three builds, which was pretty good. What is it? The Archangel's Animus changed from setting things on fire to like Draconic Blessing changed from like getting set on fire when you're in your movement to models within 10 inches take +2 damage from fire.
Oh, so they're basically copying the Storm Raptors.
Yeah.
But that means if they're doing that for the Archangel, maybe the Storm Raptor will have better than like a 5-inch bubble with that.
Yes. So it's 10 inches.
Or yeah, well, I think actually,
I think the Storm Raptor's 10 inches.
I think it's his command, which is 7. Like Mark II, I think it was like a 5-inch bubble, and then they made it his command in Mark III, which is command 7. But I don't think the Storm Raptor fits well enough in the Lightning Beam list to make that useful. And it also only works with weapons that are lightning attack, which sadly the Circle of Ouroboros does more magic attacks that are lightning damage, so they don't benefit from it as much either. Robert.
No, she just regenerates.
But yeah, so hopefully that's some changes. But if you think about it, Croak Raiders are now Power 13 Weapon Masters at range.
Gross. Well, as long as you're Earled.
Right.
Oh, well, you mean with the, oh god, yeah. Ooh, that's gross.
Yeah.
So Akira's Croaks are coming back, right?
Hey, how's it going?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Do you have any just regular?
Like 6 or something of
Me, no. It would be up on the shelf if we had it.
10. So, yeah, and then just kind of have Helena behind him and just be like.
Yeah, he's also playing Helena. There's an arm buff. Her feet's a +3 arm buff.
And she's a mechanic.
Unfortunately, we had some.
That's not flock, that's sand.
Ah, whatever.
That's super different.
It is different, but it will be covered. I just need a base for everything.
But Trolls is just like, cool, I'm pulling off. He's power playing 3. Okay, instead of being dice +4.
But yeah, so Abby won.
So now,
her feet got improved. So now it's her whole battle group heals, and then they all gain excessive healing.
Oh,
because that's my.
So that's a lot better.
Yeah, especially that's not going to stack with the Dragon Calves excessive healing, is it?
Correct. And the Dragon Cav aren't part of her battle group anyways.
Oh yeah, that's true. Sorry, battle group.
Yeah.
I got ahead of myself.
She also got Refuge. That's the one where if like someone like successfully makes an attack, they get to move at the end of their activation.
And that doesn't ignore 3 strikes though, right?
I don't believe so.
If I do that, I'll probably take it back.
But like it's effectively like sprint. Someone who knows Legion more can correct me. So that was a big one. Dagrosh 2's feat got changed to where he cast Draconic Blessing for free. And it's like something else. I can't remember what else it is. Or not Draconic Blessing. Manifest Destiny for free.
Oh.
And then he gets some other bonus. Which was a pretty good one. But like overall, like lots of quality of life changes to a lot of the models. Dagrosh 2 and Abby 1 being like the 2 big ones that aren't really used that much. That fit the theme of the Ogren, right?
It's making me excited. Grail 2018.
Grail 2018. You and Dave can like do like a 2-man Grail convention. Share your Grail stories. Talk about your favorite Grail tournament lists.
One of my favorite Grail moments was beating Max with like basically a Rube Goldberg machine feat turn. It was crazy.
Max Lamont, most reliable player in Atlanta.
Yeah. Basically, Grail's feat says if a model is control kills another model, you can move another model 3 inches. Well, it's just like the weirdest stuff, like, oh, this person killed someone, so this one moves into position, even though they couldn't do anything before that. And then they kill a model, and then all of a sudden I get to move my big heavy-hitting war beast up 3 inches, and then all of a sudden I luckily drag, I think, his caster 5 inches out of position and then charge it. And it It's wonky. But it works. Just like Rube Goldberg machines.
There's another one called Rebels.
They work every time.
Yep. Works every time, 20% of the time.
Okay, so they got shut down. Okay. It used to be like there was deep and shallow water. It's just confusing. All you need to know right now is unless you have amphibians.
All this talk of War Machine is mostly spurned or spurned on due to spurred on. Thank you.
Spurred up.
Spurred up due to our Journeyman League that's currently going on in the store, which we have a lot of people up here playing games for today right now, anyways. So that's pretty exciting.
The abilities that are going that are Pathfinders, Flight, which is a win, and models that are historical. And well, that's what we want. Just talking about like things that you'll find on Twitter, like just special rules you'll find on cards. Historical avoids it.
It's gonna get a nice
in general, there are spells
dusty
that will let you get through it as well.
excess
They say that they'll say that
sand and whatnot.
Someone says, "Oh, I cast this." Sometimes they don't. I went over concealment. That's what. So if you're completely within, you get concealment against shooting.
So yeah.
Oh, also sorry.
So what do you think?
You have to be completely within the game base.
Oh, that's really good.
Kill.
Alright, let's see if I can manage my terrible camera skills here.
Yeah. Almost there. Nope, below the other way. Not that way. Nope, there you go.
I know, it's kind of like really weird. Kind of focusing.
Probably doesn't help that I'm constantly like moving right below this.
But just gave him a brush, some grass, a stump.
Kenyon says, nice griffin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He's ready to judo chop.
Yeah.
Since the Shadowhorn doesn't do it anymore.
Sad day.
I know. I don't understand why they took away reversal. I hope that's something they bring back.
So one of the things that does look like they're trying to do, Predator Press-wise, is remove feats that like do out of activation shenanigans, which was like a big part of like Battlecross 2's feat, where it was like at the end of your turn, everyone gets like make an attack kind of thing.
Yeah, that was a bit much.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's nothing wrong with like I mean, these have evasion.
Yeah.
That's basically a you miss me admonition.
Yeah.
I don't see what's wrong with a you miss me, I knock you down.
He doesn't have like so. The Spitter has retaliatory strike, which I think he should have. Like, and just put crit knockdown on it, like something like. Or if he already has crit knockdown on his horns, then that means he would get that on the retaliatory strike, I believe. Which would kind of keep the theme.
That will come up. You will not remember all these rules. I'm just throwing them at you. It's pretty much. Also, don't block line of sight when the rules completely are. One key thing about terrain, you never gain a benefit.
But yeah, we're all working on
at least from these. This also provides cover.
our projects.
Provides cover if you hit any part
bad
of
boy
your line of
dry.
sight while shooting me.
You guys will have to endure probably weeks of these nights, but hopefully we should have some guests on soon, outside of me and Mark. Sean Twitty should be coming back once his like school schedule gets like settled down a little bit. Curtis Shoemake, he is a pro painter. He has volunteered, or maybe I volunteered him, and we'll find out how that shakes out. But hopefully Curtis will come in and do a couple paint videos for us.
We haven't had him on yet. So.
Yeah. And I'd love to get Jesse Carlisle to come up here and do some paint videos as well, if his schedule ever lines up, which is usually the problem with most folks. Hey, David Kelly. David Kelly, Giga-Con, 1 day or 2 days?
I'm fine with either way. I'd say take a poll out there. I'd lean more towards 2 days.
Yeah. I think 2 days means like, you know, people who travel get a little bit more out of it.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't go down to Florida for a 1 day.
Yeah.
Probably.
So yeah, we can do 2 days for GigaCon.
If I have him here, we're both
I'm sure you can find enough stuff. We do like a Masters thing.
If it's like this, you get a point.
Have an alternate thing on the second day.
Yeah,
That's more than just a standard.
I think a team tournament is good for the second day.
The only problem is then you're going to have people that's like, well, we had a team, and now we lost on the Masters.
I guess that's a good point.
That's
Maybe I'll do a special scenario, like do a
I'm gonna go first.
smaller point, like 50-point special scenario style tournament where
full 75 is fine. Just,
yeah,
I mean, it might be cool to have a team tournament, but
do that.
just figure a way how to do it. Let's see what people like it. What was that?
It's a griffin.
Taka.
It's a griffin.
It's hard to see because it has evasion
I see.
And stealth.
and stealth. Yeah.
The stealth thing is the more
Stealth thing
important
is hard to see. You look like you have. You look like you're just giving some qualities.
Birdmen, lend me your. You don't really have ears, but
birds have ears.
oh, they have the little spots on their head, but they don't have like.
They are ears. They are scientifically classified as ears.
Floppy ear.
But they can't really lend them when they don't protrude from their body.
You don't know that?
Hey, I watched that Mel Brooks movie where everyone throws their ears at the guy.
Yes, actually a quick GM.
That would be rucksack tan.
Oh, DK, did you bring in the Blindwater pamphlet?
Crap, no. I looked through it, so I will lose it up here at some point in the future. I don't have it with me. I brought my blind water.
Good.
So, Warlock's like Warcaster, starting, we both start full focus or I use Fury, but I know
So you're just used
I finally channeled my inability to sleep into painting. That is productive.
Well, good.
How do we do Alright, so if you want us to do the weekly painting, just post a picture on the page. And I'll give you the link. And then if you want to do the painting competition, we'll
Okay, so I don't need to show you stuff.
no, just post a picture on it on the event page, on the event page. And I'll like it, and that's all. Nowadays, I recommend you
Yeah, we're doing a modified journeyman where people get to make their own battle groups. One of the cool things about that is the painting competition this time is just for best battle group. So you get to kind of choose who your caster is from any of the previous battle box casters. Whether that was a Mark II battle box or one of the approved ones for Journeyman League by the end of Mark II. So yeah, I'm hoping to see a lot of cool battle boxes from our participants.
But it's gonna, we're trying to make sure it's models that are relevant for the color.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, like what I'm hoping for is when it starts getting into like more, because I only have one unit.
Yeah, so it's up to the store. So yeah, they want to do it. We have
What army are you gonna be? That's all good. I was just wanting to run it by usage.
So every week, as long as you get the number of games in, you're entered into the raffle. Unless it's one.
I'm just gonna
One is a raffle already.
really highlight that stuff, give it some lighter colors to show it's been
People who are available to win have already won.
sitting in the, I guess, spotted sunlight. It's a forest.
People available have also
But it's been weathered. It's seen better days.
it's kind of it'll feel better.
I'm gonna move over to the silvering of these two ones that we're already doing before.
That'll be first.
I did.
You got it?
Yeah, flexible.
Like I'm trying to get that as
So, just coming in, painting silver details on all these guys, and then I'll hit them with a wash along with the carapace, since we only have a little bit of time left, like 15 minutes or so.
So it really depends on this
All right, so Lilith's going to go ahead and so what has pretty much
Works for me. The Manicore has begun, and I think that's except she does have one, but instead of actually causing damage, it just moves. Manicore's got it.
So yeah, this
That's actually not
this step is not nearly as technical as the edge highlighting. It's it's blocking in the silvers, so I just have to be careful because any mistake I do here will take a bit of work to fix.
just outside of 18 inches.
And I don't want to spend a lot of time fixing something where I could just be careful. There's a,
No speed racer.
yeah, like no need to rush through it. It's a simple task that will look great when done. You just got to be patient.
You gotta get that favorite color done.
Yeah. It's okay if I like go over the edges just slightly, because I am hitting this with a black wash, and that black wash will go ahead and make that black edging for me. And I'm gonna go block in this little porthole, so I might use a little gem color from Games Workshop to make that porthole nice and cool looking. But yeah.
I was actually really upset today.
Yes.
I showed my years ago, or a couple years ago, when Dust first came out or whatever. They had a zombie Hitler, because you know Hitler was killed in the early.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1943.
And then there was a model that. Check it out. I'm the one that added him holding a rat head. It's like a rat, but you see, it's a zombie Hitler.
That is hilarious.
Isn't that great?
Was he disemboweled too?
Yeah, apparently.
So they broke his fingers, disemboweled him. Man, they really did a number on him.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
Almost like
Yeah,
he was.
I love it. He's eating a rat's head.
You gotta get your brain somehow.
That came from a Skaven.
Oh, we got it right there.
It's gonna have to be another objective marker.
Oh, that would be great. Everyone's just trying to get at him again. It's like, you're supposed to be dead.
We're just starting the game, but if I've got time, yeah.
For those who's curious about Dust 1947,
You were planning to join, right?
the
Planning to join?
German army basically did away with Hitler in 1943 because they saw that he was going to bring doom to the Axis forces, and so instead of having a totalitarian idiot in power, they now have a totalitarian like smart guy in power. Bad news for the Allies, I guess. Good news. I mean, they're still kind of totalitarian. Yeah, he's pretty much done. Just
What game does this belong to?
he's a Griffin from War
Looks good, man. I love basing. That's one of my favorite things to do.
So that's what I've been doing with him today. Is I gave him a tree trunk. I basically mixed green brush with rust pigment to get that autumn look to it. And I have leaves at home, so I'm gonna put leaves along the base. What's funny is like I haven't seen people have always asked like, where do you get these leaves? Like it's Secret Weapon. It's like, can I get that? I checked the distributors. They're out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So hold on to those. Those are pretty treasure pieces. I'm sure you can get them somewhere else. Than Secret Weapon.
Yeah, I bet you could go to Hobby Lobby and
Yeah.
get some iteration of it, even if it meant I'm going to take the leaves around this tree and
Yeah,
pluck them
yeah.
off.
Just take an X-Acto knife and start cutting off the tree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. And so I'm gonna have the cloak that they're wearing to be the distinction between one. So, you know, one will be purple, one will be green, one will be orange, that kind of thing. I'll probably stick with the more of the autumn colors, so like brown, orange, green, maybe a different shade of brown, different shade of green, various ones, but make it easy to distinctly keep track of each of them.
Are you doing anything to his wings?
No, not really. I think I'm pretty much done with it.
I think the only time I really fooled around with wings, it was the wings on the Eagles in the Lord of the Rings or War of the Ring game. They have an expansion pack that comes with the Eagles.
Yeah.
And I looked online. I just looked to see how they were painted. But what makes wings, bird wings pop, I think, is you hit an airbrush with black along the edge, and it'd be like that, this angle. So it'd be like. And what it is, it fades, it goes from light to dark on the tips.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's hard to explain, but when you see it, it's like, that's exactly what bird wings look like.
Or Mark, what we can do is individually paint gold rim on every single feather.
That's right. You know, you should probably take it off the wings before you do it, and then reattach them later.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
Don't worry about it.
It's that joke.
I got a commission to, like, someone wanted it was like a prop making commission, and someone wanted gold tips on their wings, and I thought I was going to do what you suggested, like, you know, where you just target the bottom of the wings.
Yeah, the edge.
Yeah, and just do the edge. And no, the client wanted every single feather individually to have gold tips on it. So they de-feathered the entire wing, like this costume prop wing.
Oh.
And they just handed me a bag of feathers and were like, gold tips every single one of these. I was just like, that is not what I signed up for.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You talking about like full-size feathers?
Yeah, full-size feathers. This was like a costume wings.
So you would have had to airbrush, just sit there and just airbrush the edge of wings for the next 4 hours.
Edge of feathers. And the thing is, like, even if you were to give those back, they probably wouldn't know which order to even put them in where.
Yeah.
Oh, good point. It's not like,
Yeah.
It was a terrible idea. It's like,
I
congratulations.
immediately regretted that decision.
Yeah, you've played yourself at this point.
Yeah.
What does that go to, John? It looks like a Volkswagen Bug.
Maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah, no, it goes to an Imperial Knight.
I'm gonna start doing that. Take the not even. I'd say even just hack. Take the torso up, cut that in half, put wheels on it, and you have Imperial dune buggies. There you go.
Yeah.
Beep beep.
Looking good, man. That's good.
Speaking of Imperial Doom buggies, you got a modded conquest to do.
Yep. That was gonna be good. I was gonna try to make that tomorrow of the week, but time was not on my side.
Makes fools of us all.
Well, it was mainly our schedule's not really meeting up this week. So I might try on the weekend if that's all right with you.
Yeah, so Caitlin's in town. I'm not sure if you remember her. That's David's girlfriend.
What? She's here? I've never met her. I've only talked to her.
Yeah, we might be going out this evening, so I'll let you know.
Yeah, definitely let me know. I'll try to keep my schedule.
She's here for a photo shoot.
Wow, all the way from California.
Yeah, her company paid for her to come out here and take some photos at a corporate event.
I don't think we're acceleration.
Did you airbrush those, whatever those, I was going to say, it looks way too smooth.
The carapaces, yeah.
All friendly factions.
Yeah, they're all.
Excellent job. I love that. Unless it's just the light, it looks like it's. Right? I mean, it looks like right in the middle.
Yeah, that was the hopeful goal.
No, it does,
Yeah,
but I can
yeah,
tell if it's just
yeah.
the light, like the real thing happening. No, but it looks great.
Yeah, it's the transitions on these guys are super subtle, which was like. It was hard for me because I'm normally used to like super bright contrast and all that, and I definitely wanted to tone it down because these guys aren't supposed to be like neon colored knights.
They're part of the Grim Dank.
Yeah,
Do you use, does that frog tape work? No, is it called frog tape?
I mean, I use masking tape.
Yeah, painter's tape.
Yeah.
Painter's tape, like, but I think Frog makes one that like
Yeah.
guarantees it won't pull the paint off. Is that pretty much what you do for that? Straight,
Yeah.
the straight line.
So you can do that, but it's still recommended that you seal it
Yeah.
with.
You mean after? Oh, you mean
dull coat,
before?
Bosco, yeah, and then
Yeah.
you put the tape on there, and you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, good point. Just matte finish spray.
Yeah.
Cool beans. I ended up getting that. Guy. That's just gonna be too much fun. That walker that drops in is like.
Oh yeah, no. I told you, man, that thing.
Yeah.
Is
I was like, oh, that sounds like I have a guy. The Wanton.
Yeah.
His name is Wotan, but he doesn't drop in, and he's got a machine gun. So he has dual lasers. He's got dual lasers, but he still would be effective. But I do like. I think it might even you could say range 2 possibly on that. If you had something at range 2, like let's say I'm the guy, and John's range 1 bad guy, and you're range 2 bad guy. Can I aim at you and it hits him on the way there?
It hits both, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's really nasty that you have guys with guns that can only get so far, like range 2, like that light submachine gun I had was range 2, and then you have a flamethrower
pretty much the
attached to his
progress I
neck
got
that's
to
just
today.
as good as shooting at range.
But thank you guys very much for coming in. We're going to end it here
Christoph, okay.
since the store's getting busy and we keep getting people
Was the one that had the
coming in and saying hi. So you guys have a great day.
Yep, have a wonderful day.
Alright, and we are going to.
We need to get a streaming in progress
Mark, did I show
sign.
you my terrain that I made?
No.
I probably won't get no points for it, but I just did it all.